All right, what's up, my peeps? What you got going on out there on this fine Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening or Tuesday night? I guess it's depending on when you see it, you know? Anyway, I hope everybody is doing good, no matter what time you see it. No matter what time you see it. So what I got over here today is edge and weed eating, you know, my regular maintenance, and then raking up. At this yard, I rake up leaves every week. Every single week, especially during this time of the year. I'm raking up leaves. I don't think I did a video over here in a minute. It's been about 2 weeks. Been about 2 weeks. I've had so many new projects and all of that, so it's like I haven't really had time to record a video over here. I've been coming though. I have been coming. This is one of those yards because it dropped so many leaves in a run of a week that man, you can't skip. You can't skip this yard. You almost gotta come the exact day that you need to come. You're supposed to come on Tuesday. You gotta be over here Tuesday, because by Wednesday it'll be a pool of leaves. It will be a pool of leaves. There's a couple of shout outs I want to give. Let me give a shout out to Color Squad. Color, if you watch this, and shouts out to you. Walk with me. Shouts out to you, man. I'm gonna tell you why. So I was looking at one of your videos and I clicked out of the video, and then YouTube notified me. It was like, hey, Color Squad mentioned you. So I'm still fairly new to YouTube's operations, you know, the functionality of it. And so I went looking, I'm like, you mentioned me. I'm like, where? And it said that you mentioned me in the video. So I'm like, I know I didn't hear him say my name. I was like, man, when did he mention me? So I looked in the description, and man, Color Squad has put every YouTube channel that he can think of. I say, man, Color is, man, that's my guy. That's my guy. He put every YouTube channel he could think of, and he said, these are the yards, or these are the channels that I like. And my name was in there. My channel was in there. I was like, oh man, that's dope, man. That's real dope. So, hey, Color, if you watching this, man, if you get to this point, I know you watch a lot of channels, so I don't expect for you to watch my whole video. Hey, but if you get to this point, man, I appreciate you. I really do. I really do, man. I really do. I really appreciate the whole YouTube community, man. Sean's Lawns on YouTube. Him and his son, they support other YouTube channels. And so how I found out about Sean's Lawns is through Cutter Squad. So Cutter Squad had showed a picture of Sean's Lawn wearing his shirt, wearing Cutter Squad's merch. And Sean's Lawns, they just support people, you know, they just get their shirts, buy them, or, you know, whatever, however they do it. And they just show support. So I followed him because I was like, that's a nice gesture, you know. That's a nice gesture. So I went to his channel and started looking at his stuff. He drops really great content. So I'm like, well, shoot, let me subscribe to Sean's Lawns as well. So I was commenting on a lot of Sean Lawns videos that was coming out. And man, he didn't respond to me for a few days. It took him a while to respond to me. So I'm like, dang. I'm like, hopefully he sees my comment. Hopefully he sees my comment. And so he responds to me a few days ago. And something that was so cute to me, man, was his son actually commented on one of my videos. And it read like a child speaking. And I can only imagine Sean's Lawns' son speaking. They're like, hey, Mr. Al about biz. Man, I thought that was so cute. And so his son left me a lot of well wishes and things like that. So I responded back to his son, and then I responded back to son, Sean's Lawns as well. And so I was like, man, this YouTube thing is an awesome tool, man. It really is something else. It's an awesome platform. Walk with me. Like, yeah, it's an awesome platform, man. He actually lives in Jacksonville. For those of you that don't know, that's where I'm at. I'm in Jacksonville. So he actually lives here. And so he commented on one of my videos, or maybe it was on his video. And he was like, man, I would love to meet up with you. You know, maybe we can collab on something. And so I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool with me. I'm ready whenever you are. So, I don't know. You might have something in the works on that. Then, I can give a lot of shout outs today. Then, my guy, Jeremy from Pristine Ground on YouTube, he reached out to me yesterday. He emailed me and gave me his number. And so, man, shouts out to Jeremy as well, man. Had a conversation with him, and it was an amazing conversation. And we stayed on the phone for almost 2 hours just talking, getting to know one another. And it was dope because, you know, this man is Wayland, Pittsburgh. So we had already been, like commenting on each other's videos and stuff like that. And I never expected for anybody to reach out, but he reached out, and when I saw the email, I was like, oh man, this is my guy. So man, we're talking about some of everything, man. We were talking about some of everything. Family, grass cutting, YouTube channel, views, subscriber, man. We was talking about so much stuff, and so it was a cool video. I mean, I said it was a cool video. It was a cool conversation. It was a cool conversation, man. It really was. I really enjoyed myself. And so, at this point, Jeremy, man, I consider you a friend at this point, man. Yes, I do. You're definitely a friend of mine. But yeah, I've just been floating along this week. Like I said, today is Tuesday, and every yard that I have is a weekly yard. The yards, the few remaining bi-weekly yards that I had from last year, they've all transitioned over to weekly. So this week is my first week trying to route out with all of my new yards and the ones that stayed on. So at this point, it's seeming pretty good. I mean, I've been at this thing for this year, it'll be 10 years in business. So as far as like structuring the route, I got that down to a science at this point. But because everything is weekly, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, let me make sure I'll be able to keep up with it, Let me make sure that my route is as optimized as possible, so I don't have any problems. Something else that I do with my route is, there's a lot of things I do with my route, but I try to make sure that I can be at every yard the same day and almost around the same time. That way, if my customer has a dog or something, their kids or whatever the case is, and they need to put stuff up so they don't be in my way, I try to make sure that I'm coming on a consistent basis, and that I'm being even consistent with the time that I'm coming. So that's another thing that I do. And so what I'm doing now is kind of like timing myself to see how long it's gonna take for me to do each yard. Seeing how long it may take if I got something going on like traffic, or I gotta do something for my wife, or whatever. I might have any type of personal thing going on. And so I'm just trying to kind of like see about that, how that's gonna work, how that would potentially look, how that would affect the time that I would be able to get over to a yard. I'm looking at all of those things. So when I'm like structuring the route, I'm structuring it in the most optimum way possible for the most part. Certain things that's gonna always be out of my control, like weather, traffic, those things are always gonna be out of my control. But for the things that are in my control, I want to make sure that I got that locked in. I'm keying that in pretty good. So that's something that I got going on. I told you guys Friday after my new start that I had to do some quotes Saturday. So I did one Saturday. I picked that yard up. I probably have some footage of that this week. I think the day that I would get over there would be Thursday. It's looking like Thursday. It may be Friday though, just depending on how fast I can move, throughout my route. But either Thursday or Friday, which it wouldn't be bad because if I went over there on a Thursday, I have like 6 to 7 yards. If I went over there on a Friday, I would have like 5. So 5 or 6. Like all of my days, Monday through Friday, are like 5 yards a day, 5 or 6 yards a day. I'm not trying to do like 10 yards, 12 yards. I'm not trying to do all of that this year. I got too many other things going on that's gonna require my attention as well. And so really 5 or 6 yards is all that I can basically handle because I pick my daughter up from school just about every day. Sometimes it's days where she gotta catch an Uber, but man, my daughter is 17, so I don't have to pick her up. She can catch her a Lyft or Uber at any time, but I've been doing it for quite some time at this point, so that's kind of like what I do. I pick her up and we'll go to the house together. So a lot of times what I try to do is I try to be out the way. I try to be finished with my route for the day before she gets out of school. Really. But yeah, so I try to do that, but that cuts into my time because she gets out of school at 2 o'clock. So I drop off at she got to be to school by 7:14, 7:15. That's when the bell rings. So I normally get up here around 7:03, 7 o'clock, something like that. And then I go and load up. My wife, she goes to work at 8. So sometimes what I do is I go back to the house and I either wake her up or I call her. And I get my day started. I'll go ahead and get my day started. But really, it only gives me about 3.5 to 4 hours, sometimes 4.5, depending on what I got going on. So it don't really give me too much time to do things. So 5 or 6 yards, that's about as much as I can handle at this point. But that's why I charge what I charge, because it's like I need to be able to make money. And I need to be able to get around clients that can afford the services. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna be out of view. Bear with me. I saw some sticks that I wanted to pick up. I got this one stick, and it is actually in between my client's gate and the neighbors. And I don't know how it got like that. It's in between the actual hole in the links. But yeah. So that's what I be having going on for the most part. And weekly definitely helps. It really does, because I can knock out more yards in a run of a day, or less yards in a run of a day, and still be able to take care of my family, you know. And for me, that's all that it's about. Like, I'm not trying to get rich off anybody. I'm just trying to be able to take care of my family. But see, this is a crazy year because my daughter, she graduates this year. So she graduates. This gum got me talking with a little lisp. But she graduates in May. And so, you know, that's 2 months away. Not even. So after she graduates, it's like it'll be smooth selling in. And May is coming so quick, man. Like, it really is. It's coming so quick. I remember when the year had first started up, it was like, man, it's probably gonna be a long year. This the last year, it's probably gonna be a long year, man. But no, it really hasn't been. Hold on for a second, let me blow this off. it's something about me knowing that that little bit of leaves was right there and it wasn't raked up. There's something that irritated me about that just then. And I was just going to blow it on the side, you know, and just pick it up next week because my client, he really doesn't, he doesn't care if I'm not picking up all of the leaves every week. You know, he just wants it clean. So it's like, it wouldn't be a big deal for him. To be honest, he's not even here. He's not even in the country, you know, so he's not worried about it. But for me, it's like, man, it's the small details, man. Like, it's the small details. And I just couldn't imagine leaving his yard with that little bit of pile, those little bit of piles right there, or this little bit of pile of leaves. I couldn't imagine doing that. So the actual agreement was for me to clean one side of the yard per week. Because he knows that his yard drops a lot of leaves because he's under a lot of trees. So he understands, like, I got a business. He has a lot of trees. And, you know, I need to make money at the end of the day. So the agreement was to just pick up as much as I can on each side and then go from there. The next week, pick up as much as I can on the other side and then go from there. But I'm like, man, I'm coming over here every week, you know. I can dedicate a little bit of time to making sure that the whole yard is cleaned up. I really can. It's not gonna hurt me. I mean, I might spend 45 minutes to an hour here. It's like, it's okay. You know, it'll be fine. So I started doing it. I started doing that. And what happened was, boy, how I got to this point right here is he calls me up one day. He's like, hey, can you do a cleanup on my yard? So I'm like, yeah, sure. So he like, I'm not gonna be here, and I just want to make sure everything's clean, and I want to get some stuff done. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he paid me to do the cleanup. He paid me to do the cleanup, and then he paid me to do the mulching over here as well. And so from that point, I was like, man, he's giving me a fresh start, in which, I mean, the yard was already clean. It wasn't as clean as I keep it at this point, but it was already clean. His front yard, it stays clean because, you know, that's the first thing that people see. So I made sure that I keep his front yard clean. His backyard wasn't as clean. You know, it had some leaves. And so what I would do is I would clean up the front yard, and then the backyard, I would just kind of push leaves towards his fence. And so that was cool. I mean, it kept the yard looking nice and clean, like nice and good. But I wanted to do better than that after he paid me to clean up the leaves. Hold on for a second. So I used to push the leaves towards this back area right here. But since he paid me that time to clean up the leaves, which was I think like October or November, it might have been December. I've kept it like this. I've kept it exactly like this. Like, as you can see, there's no leaves, literally the little bit of leaves right here. But for the most part, there's no leaves around this man's whole perimeter and around his yard. And I say that to say, when I come over here, like, I come over here to do as good of a job as I can. So there's literally like hardly any leaves. I try to stay on top of that type of stuff. I don't like for my clients to have to necessarily double pay me. It's like, if the leaves are falling to a point that I can't control it, then we'll go from there. But it's like, I try to make sure that I stay on top of it. I don't know if you remember this rock bed right here, but this rock bed was full of weeds. And the reason why was because it was too cold. And I have a thing that I believe in, right? And it's once the weed killer leaves from out of my backpack sprayer, it's your problem. Like, it's coming out of my customer's budget. They start to pay for it, you know? And so because of that, I try to make sure that I'm doing it at the right time and I'm giving my customer the biggest bang for the buck, you know? I don't want them to double spend for something. And I know that if it's cold, the weed killer is not going to work as well. So it's like, I spray that weed killer and it kills all of the weeds in that rock bed. So that's just some of the things that I do, some of the things that I believe in, you know. I believe in trying to treat people right. I don't care if you're here or if you're in another country. If I have possession of your yard, I'm gonna try to make sure I do everything I can to make sure that I'm honoring our agreement. I don't do any contracts, so my clients never have to worry about that type of stuff. But I do try to make sure that I'm giving my clients the best service I can give them. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I got some more yards to do for the day. I might check back in, but yeah. If you haven't already, like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys that have been rocking with me. And something for in my eye. But yeah, I'm out.